One. The venue, the Legend Center in Warman. The participants in this 18U Women's Division I final. HVC, the Huskies out of Saskatoon, taking on the Southeast Surge, a team full of girls from all over southern Saskatchewan. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Ryan Schweitzer along with Shea Bolio. The busy weekend of volleyball this weekend has come down to this tournament final. Should be an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a barn burner here, Ryan. I know that these teams have faced each other a lot throughout the club season, and here we are, provincial final. No strangers to each other. We'll see how that factors in. The venerable Huskies taking on a relative group of newcomers in the Surge. Huskies, far side of your screen, white jerseys, green trim. Surge with the white and gray attack here. So we'll see how things shake out in this women's D1 gold medal final here. The Surge and HVC, the Huskies, out of Saskatoon. Looks like the Surge is going to serve first here. A busy weekend of volleyball. Shea, you've played in these women's finals. What's it like for these athletes on the floor right now? It's super fun. It's pretty draining by the end of the weekend, but I mean, the gold medal game is where you want to be.
And they are both where they want to be here. Set to serve are the Surge. Huskies in position to receive. Crowd is a big one here taking in this final at the Legend Center in Warman. And delivering that ball into opposition court is Reese Marshall. We are underway here in the finals. And just like that, Huskies fired up. 13, Julia Howell-Borner. The Borner supremacy delivered.
Yeah, great first attack by number 13. Started with a good pass, and I appreciate that number 6 got her middle involved in the offense right away.
Howell-Borner serving. Lots of chatter at the net. Big swing, blocked, and out of bounds. Great start, Huskies. They go up a deuce.
Yeah, good close by Jada Harder to get there and get forehands up and in on the Southeast Surge's outside attacker.
Howell-Borner to serve again. Her team up 2-0. Delivers that ball deep to the back of the court, inbounds. So far, so good, Huskies.
Yeah, that's a great serve deep in the court. As a passer, you just got to follow it back and then make a decision.
3-0 lead. Howell-Borner to serve again. She had a big kill to take herself to the service line. Sent back court, Cuthbert. Quick set there, delivered. Huskies chasing after it, Howell-Borner after it. And unable to send it through the antennas. That's going to be a point for the Surge. Good response there by the Surge after a quick 3 points for the Huskies.
Yeah, a really good response for the Surge. They needed that point.
So serving now, 6. Olivia Michelle. And Michelle deals an ace. No response from the Huskies, 2 serving 3.
Yeah, great serve from 6. I think it's going to be a big serve-pass game for this final.
Early stage of this final. A nervous anticipation by both teams coming into this one. Played by the libero. Tipped over the net Harder. Chasing after that the Surge. Scrambling. And back set. Cleared over the net. And sending that over. Good play there by Field. Big set. Off the block. Field again. Back row. And again, a big swing there coming from the Huskies as they deliver. Devin Ether lowering the boom. 4-2 lead, Green.
Yeah, a good swing by Devin. She had just one blocker up, so she had a lot of court to swing at, and she made no mistake.
That just cleared the net. Sydney Modreyevsky serving. Modreyevsky makes contact. Setting up Ether. And from the back, sent over. Chasing after that of the Huskies. First contact is made, and it's a point for the Surge. Serving now for the Surge, Georgia Johnner. Johnner delivers that over the net. Davidouk, the libero, first contact there. And then the Huskies unable to reply. You mentioned it earlier, making that first pass after the serve looks like it's going to be a key in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. When you can make that first pass a good one, your setter has all 3 options, and that makes it really tough on the other team's block and defense.
Point Huskies. Yep. Ether set to serve. Ether sends it over. Jolene Sibley with first contact, and she doesn't quite get it over the net. That'll be a point for the Huskies. Devin Ether to serve. Ether sends that over, played by the libero Baird, and sent out of the net by Cuthbert. Surge getting that over. Big swing and just out of bounds. Jordan Field sending that one through the court. No touches. It'll be 5 serving 6. And McKenna Harkness now. Harkness just over the net. Got to be good to be lucky. Harkness paying the bills with that serve.
Yeah, that was a great serve. We call that the mid-court dropper, and yeah, that's a hard ball to pass.
McKenna Harkness drills that over the net. 2 good serves from Harkness. Field lowers the boom on that ball. Surge chasing after it, and they do get it over the net after some scrambling. Harder off the block. And a big swing there by Jada Harder.
Yeah, good defense by Surge, relentless effort, and good on Jada Harder for saying, no way, I'm going to put this ball away for my team.
Ball careening out of bounds. Surge point. Kiana Cuthbert. Sends that ball over to a waiting Ether. Field sends that over the net, out of bounds. Huskies trying to get Field going here, but that one just drifting out. Point Surge. 18U Div 1 women's final. Kiana Cuthbert. Ether at the net. Howell Borner off the block. Point Huskies.
Yeah, good dynamic swing by 13. She's going to be a really key asset to the Husky success.
Julia Howell Borner. 8-8 is the score. Serving now Huskies, Alyssa Burns. Burns just over the tape. Blocked Huskies. Surge try again from the back row. Ether. And Field off the block, out of bounds. Point Husky, nice rally.
Yeah, good swing from number 2. She's definitely an undersized player, but she does a really good job of finding ways to score.
Alyssa Burns, 9-8 lead Huskies. Burns delivers. Johnner. And sent over the net by Cuthbert. Howell Borner trying to go backdoor there, didn't quite time it. Now a big swing. Good take there by Ether as that sealed past her, out of bounds. Huskies win the race to 10-8.
Yeah, I think Surge was looking for a touch, but didn't quite get that call.
Serving now, Alyssa Burns. Burns. And ace. Huskies with some momentum.
Yeah, that serve just handcuffed number 5 a little bit. Looked like she was going to let it go. She thought it was maybe out and then just got in the way of it.
And now the Surge calling a timeout to try and break up the serve of Alyssa Burns, which has been effective. Your thoughts through the first 19 points of this one? Huskies with an 11-8 lead.
Yeah. I think it's been a serve pass game. It seems whoever can put the most pressure on the other team at the service line puts the other team in a hard position to pass the ball and then can't run their offense. And yeah, I think that's what we've seen so far. Whoever can pass the ball, get it to the net, can run their offense and score a point.
Surge right now, they're down by 3. It's been a back and forth game. A few lead changes here right now. What do you think the subject of conversation is in that huddle?
In the Surge's huddle, I think it's let's just get the pass, get it to the net, let's let our setter run our offense, cover our hitters, and focus on what we can control.
The storied Huskies and that program, based out of Saskatoon, always in the mix in these tournaments. HVC, 11-8, they lead it. Alyssa Burns. Burns has been cooking from the serve area. Johnner, Baird, and on the third hit, tipped over the net by the Surge. Howell-Borner at the net, and that's going to be a Husky point as that ball just kind of bounced around, a little bit of running around by the Surge, and the Huskies maintain momentum out of that timeout.
Yeah, fast pass, fast play, good for number 13 for being up there and being an option.
So 12-8 now the score. Burns, that's one way to break up the serve.
Yeah, that's a break for Surge for sure.
So now the Surge will try and get their train a-rolling. Jolene Sibley. Sibley delivers a good hard serve. Field chasing after that Modreyevsky. And Field with the hit. Surge chasing that ball around and sent over the net by Johnner. And a good heads-up play there by Modreyevsky. Modreyevsky, the setter. Field, and that hits pay dirt. Point Huskies.
Yeah, another good swing by number 2. She's got a lot of shots in her book.
Like what I'm seeing from the setter, Sydney Modreyevsky. Setting the table for her players to feast, and now Jordan Field. Field diminutive in stature, but she's made some big plays at the net so far in this first set. Surge trying to reply. Johnner. And Alyssa Burns wears one in the melon. Shakes it off like it's happened before. Good toughness on her part.
Yeah, good swing by number 5 down the line. I don't think number 7 thought she had that shot, but there it was.
Nailed her right in the mind, but she's okay. Played by Davidouk. Field. And sent over by Ether. Now they're setting up Johnner again off the block. Field tries to keep it going. Great play by Field. Burns keeps it alive. And the Huskies able to reply and get that broken play put back together again. Field running around now are the Huskies, but unable to track it down is Burns. And the Surge get a point out of a deal as that pinballs through the Huskies' court, 11 serving 13.
Yeah, a good swing by number 3. We haven't seen a lot of action from her, but I think she is going to be a really big part of the Surge's success.
Reese Marshall now drills that ball over. Played by Davidouk, the libero. Field and Ether. Good swing there. Devin Ether getting the point. 14 on the scoreboard now for the Huskies. 14-11 they lead.
Yeah, that was another good swing from 17. Inside ball, I appreciate that she just went with her momentum and ripped it cross court.
Julia Howell-Borner now. 14-11. Cuthbert. And again, they set up Johnner. Field at the back of the court. Modreyevsky. And Ether off the block. Bit of a rally going now between these two teams. Johnner. Field. Tipped over. Harder. And tipped over by the Surge. Everyone flopping all over now. Ether sends it over. Punched over the net by Harkness. And a big swing. A good rally punctuated by Devin Ether.
Yeah, that was a great rally. Good swing by Devin. I think the Surge's libero got caught, sucked under the block a little. She's got to stay a little bit more neutral and make sure she can see the Husky hitter.
15-11, Julia Howell-Borner to serve. Ball sent over the net with much spin on it. Cuthbert got it to Michelle. Off the block, big block Ether. Surge looking to penetrate security here, and they finally managed to find a seam as that ball heads out of bounds. Great rallies here in this first set, 15-12 lead Huskies.
Yeah, some really great volleyball, lots of relentless defense and being aggressive on offense.
Olivia Michelle to induce play momentarily. She drills that ball in the opposition court. Field there, Modreyevsky tried to set up Jada Harder, but some nefarious contact on the part of the Huskies. Surge get a point. And now Olivia Michelle drills that ball over. Davidouk plays it. Ether and Field hammers that over the net to a waiting Elizabeth Baird. And just unable to get on the same page of the Surge. Huskies get a break before the Surge can mount too much more momentum, 16-13.
Yeah, just a little bit of mistiming between the setter and her hitter. It looks like they're talking about that, and I hope that they try to run that play again. Sydney
Modreyevsky just missed. Didn't miss that one by much, but a good take by the Surge. Now serving, Georgia Johnner. Georgia Johnner to serve now. Just over the net. Good diving play. Daviduk, Modreyevsky, and Ether sends that over. Baird, the libero, is there. Backdoor set. Block. And a good take by the Huskies. Kiana Cuthbert with the swing, but green and white in her grill. Point Saskatoon with Devin Ether set to serve.
Yeah, and good cover by the Surge, too. Just couldn't quite pop that ball up onto their side of the court.
14-17, Ether serves. Baird. Good play by Michelle. Good swing. It's inbounds. And the Southeast Surge get the ball back. The Southeast Surge representing a number of different communities in the southeast part of the province. You know, what do you know about this squad, and what have you seen from them here against a storied Huskies franchise?
I know that they have a few girls from Oxbow, a few girls from Regina, a few girls from Weyburn, so they're definitely a mix from the south. But I think that they look really great together, and that they've really come to, just good morale, and they look like they're used to playing together, even though it's obviously their first year together. First year together, and yeah, from all over southeast Saskatchewan. They trail 18-15. Jada Harder. Point surge as Kiana Cuthbert with her team down 16-18. Had a bit of a water bottle malfunction just in front of the Surge bench, so got to make sure that the playing conditions are ideal here, which is accounting for the momentary delay. Safety first indeed. This game's been all over the court as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to have to see someone chase something in front of the Surge bench. I don't know, a little coaching gamesmanship here, the dreaded spill the water bottle to give your team an extra timeout. Yeah, possibly. Freeze the server, little break for your team. Maybe that's the tactic here, I'm not sure. Or just maybe a straight up water bottle accident. Got the tinfoil hats on, dreaming up conspiracy theories, but. A break for both teams either way. Well, there's the problem. We weren't using the official Sask volleyball towel to clean it up before. There we go. Problem solved. This portion of the 18U Women's Division I Final brought to you by ShamWow. All right. The playing surface. Seen some maintenance, and now we're good to go. Kiana Cuthbert. 16-18 is the score. Surge trailing. Huskies at the far side of your screen. Big serve. Field. Played there by Burns, and Field hammers that over the net off of blocks. And stepping up to volley that over the net is Sibley. Now the response from the Huskies. Big block there. Reese Marshall. Jolene Sibley rejected. 17-18. Yeah, nothing like a good block to get your team fired up, especially late in the set. That's a big point for Surge. 17-18, Cuthbert sends that ball over. Looked like he was heading out. Field played it anyway. She'll hit it, and that sails through the court. And we're all knotted up at 18. Good battle here by the Surge. They trailed by a few, but now it's all tied up, and that is going to force Troy Weeb, head coach of the Huskies, to call a timeout and try and stymie this momentum. Yeah, Surge definitely has the momentum. I think that they're the ones putting the pressure on at the service line, and yeah, Huskies got to be aggressive with the pass, get it to the net, and let their setter run their offense. Ryan Schweitzer along with Shea Bolio here at the Legends Center in Warman. Happy to provide play-by-play of this 18U Women's Division I Final on a Sunday afternoon, the originating date here. These always reposted on the Sask Volleyball Facebook page and on their YouTube channel as well to watch over and over again.
as the athletes often do. The Southeast Surge and the Huskies. So the Surge, you touched on this earlier, very impressive showing. This is a competitive tournament, and for an upstart volleyball program to make it here really says something.
Yeah, for sure. I think it speaks to the commitment that these girls have for the sport of volleyball. They obviously travel a lot for practices. Yeah, so it's really great to see the commitment and the love for the game at the 18U and underage.
The Southeast Surge from across Southeast Saskatchewan. And the venerable HVC program. And Jordan Field finds pay dirt. Far corner backcourt. No personnel there. Oh, or did that sail out of bounds?
Yeah, I think that one was just out of bounds. She was going for that back corner. Aggressive mistake.
I thought Field had found the corner there, but I wear big, thick glasses that aren't always reliable as the ball clearly sails back into HVC court. Howell Borner off the block. Surge recover, and tipping that over the net in good athletic fashion is Reese Marshall. Field, played by the libero Baird. And now Johnner off the tape. Ether is there. Modreyevsky. Field. Great rally between these girls. And the Huskies put point number 19 for them on the board. As Caitlin Dibvig is going to check in, Alyssa Burns heads out. We're all tied up at 19. Dibvig to serve.
Yeah, I think she'll put in a hard, aggressive serve here to try to put the Surge out of system. Oh.
Well, when you serve that hard, and you know she was brought in for that, it's again, we always say this, high risk, high reward proposition. Look to bring the hype or the heat as Jolene Sibley will serve now. Sibley, played by Ether. Field chases after it, and on hit number 3, Howell Borner sends it over to a waiting Baird. Nice job there. Tip just out of bounds. Good quick set there by Olivia Michelle, but that one just careening out of bounds. Point HVC 2019, I believe, with Jordan Field set to serve. 2020 the score, rather. Back and forth action in this first set. Field, good serve. And that ball just finding its way into Husky court.
Yeah, a good heads-up play by the setter. She got pushed forward, she brought the block with her, and then just dumped it back. Yeah, that's a high volleyball IQ play right there.
21-20, Olivia Michelle, the setter with a good play. This is Reese Marshall now. Marshall drills that ball hard. Dibvig chasing after that is Modreyevsky, but just running out of real estate as she had to go behind her own bench for that. And 22-20, Reese Marshall set to serve here.
Yeah, Reese Marshall just wants to put in another good aggressive serve, make the Huskies pass, especially after just acing them.
Reese Marshall hammers that ball over. Dibvig, Field, and Ether. Dug by Marshall. And hit over the net, Georgia Johnner. The Surge living up to their name and just surging as this first set gets longer.
Absolutely, that was a great swing by Georgia Johnner. She was a little bit off the net, so it looked like the Huskies didn't decide to block as they kind of thought it would be a secondary shot, but Georgia Johnner made the pay. 23-20, are you at all surprised at how this first set has played out? I mean, obviously HVC, a perennial contender, and, you know, just talking to people around here, a team that many people thought was the favorite, but the Surge 2 points away from this first set win. Yeah, I think that the Surge has a really resilient team, and I think they play with a lot of passion. I think both teams do, but yeah, honestly, going into this game, I thought it was going to go head-for-head, and that's exactly what has happened.
So here we go, 23-20 is the score. Surge fired up. A bit of a slow start for the Surge as the Huskies jumped out to an early lead, but as this first set has gone on, the Surge just seem to be able to do the more consistent little things right. And the Huskies will try and break up momentum 23-20 with the Surge serving here in this first set race to 25. Reese Marshall. And a personnel change for the Huskies. Dibvig out, Alyssa Burns back in. Marshall hammers that ball over the net. That handcuffed the libero into the net, and Howell Borner able to hit it over on the third strike. Johnner just missing. Point Huskies, 21-23 first set.
Yeah, I think Johnner was going for the line, and I think maybe she was just trying to catch the hands, but just overshot just a little bit.
Julia Howell-Borner hammers that ball over. Baird, and the setter, Olivia Michelle, that took her a little bit out of range. That's a long run for her to try and make second contact. Point Huskies off that Howell-Borner serve. Yeah,
at that point, as a setter, you gotta just rely on your team to help you out, yelling help, talking about it, communication. Yeah, and I think that we're seeing, Ryan, that it is really a serve pass game at the end of the day. Whoever can pass the ball and let their setter run their offense.
Quick timeout by the Surge. They had a 23-20 lead, now 23-22. Coach of the Surge, Dustin Satter, just wants to make sure that his girls are all on the same page here and weren't putting any carts before any horses with that 23-20 lead, now 23-22. HVC, this is a team that you can never give up on, and they can certainly come back and hurt you quick.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The Huskies are competitive, and they're not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure.
HVC serve, Howell-Borner. Plenty of chatter at the net. Howell-Borner sends that to the back of the court. Michelle, the setter. Johnner off the block. And the Surge push it over, but some double contact with two girls in the same area there. 23-23, down to the wire we go.
Yeah, just a little bit of miscommunication when it's late in the set. The pressure's on, you kind of get a little bit tunnel vision, and I think teammates didn't see each other there.
Huskies were down 23-20. Now it's all tied up at 23. Johnner tips it. Ether. Modreyevsky setting up Ether. Palms it over. Diving stab by the libero Baird. And now the Huskies with an opportunity to put the button on the first set.
Oh, I think the Surge they've kind of taken their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. I think they're hoping that the Huskies are going to make a mistake, and the Huskies are just putting the pressure on.
After falling behind 23-20, they settled right down, but Howell-Borner sends that through the court. Surge will serve. It's all tied up at 24. 25, not enough in this opening set. Olivia Michelle. Good hard serve. Field. Modreyevsky. Ether. Ether gets it. Modreyevsky. Ether again. That's a tough play to make, but she makes something out of nothing. Great athleticism there by Ether.
Yeah, that was a good shot by Devin. The set was pushed pretty far. I think that the Surge have to do a little bit better job recognizing that set's too far out, and that was her only shot.
It was her only shot, and she made it good. 25-24 lead. Sydney Modreyevsky serves. Michelle chases after that. And nothing doing for the Surge there, as Johnner had to go off court. 26-24, what a first set.
Yeah, that was point for point, and I think actually in our pre-game talk round, I think you predicted extra points. You were right.
First set, that's what happened. 26-24, the Huskies take the opening set. 3, 2, 1. Second set, race to 25. The Huskies with a first set 26-24 win. Jordan Field, I liked her game in the first set. She's not the tallest player out there, but certainly at the net, a big presence. As side out point there by the Surge. What did you like from Field's game in that opening set?
Yeah, she's an undersized player, but I appreciate how many shots she has. She does such a good job of hitting the ball deep in the court, finding hands, and she's also a great defender too. So yeah, overall strong game for her.
Quick reaction there by Field to keep that alive, and that ball will sail out of bounds for a Surge point. They're off to a quick start here, up to a quick 2-0 lead here. Reese Marshall trying to put her team up by even more. Ether, Modreyevsky, Howell-Borner through the court. Julia Howell-Borner paying the bills for her team.
Yeah, good swing by 13, and yeah, getting her involved early in the set is key for the Huskies.
Howell-Borner to serve. 2-1 the score. Huskies trail. Huskies in the green and white at the front of your screen. Southeast Surge, white with the gray trim. And Elizabeth Baird, the libero, first contact there. Off the block, Ether. And Harder. Again, great impenetrable block. Jada Harder, the cornerstone of an impenetrable wall at the net.
Yeah, Jada Harder is a huge presence at the net, and she makes herself known at the net, that's for sure.
2 big blocks Harder was a part of. 2-2 the score. Julia Howell-Borner sends that to Baird, the libero. Michelle. And off the top of the net and out of bounds. Sibley with the swing. And Howell-Borner will serve again. Her team up 3-2. Plenty of chatter. It's loud down there. Howell-Borner hammers that over. Played by Cuthbert. Tipped. Inbounds. Nice heads-up play at the net. Jolene Sibley getting the serve back.
Yeah, that's a good spot by number 3. She obviously saw the opportunity to put the ball on the floor, and she took it.
3-3 the score. Setter Olivia Michelle. Davidouk the libero, first contact. Devin Ether sends that back row. Johnner. Baird. And sent over by Sibley, where Field is waiting. Modreyevsky quick set to Harder. And pushed over by Johnner. Field. Modreyevsky, Ether, and a nice dig by Johnner. Now big swing at the net. Cuthbert. Ether pushes that to the back of the court where Johnner was waiting. Michelle gets to that ball. Big swing by Sibley. However, Davidouk will keep it alive. And Ether sends it over. Nice rally between these two teams. Johnner, Michelle, hammered inbounds. Express post delivery to the back of the court. McKenna Harkness.
Yeah, number 8. She had a few clutch kills in the first set, and that's exactly what she does. She just puts it deep in the court. That's a hard ball to defend.
4 serving 3. Field off the serve. Harder at the net. Harder pushes it to the back of the court. Good heads-up play there by Harder, recognizing where everybody was and going to that back corner.
Yeah, I think the libero on surge knew that number 10 was going to tip it, so she cheated up, and then number 10 saw that the lib was cheating up, and she tipped it over her.
Great mental computing there by Harder. As Sydney Modreyevsky, setter for the Huskies, and out of bounds, point Huskies. Modreyevsky, 5 serving 4. Modreyevsky just off the top of the net. Baird, the libero, second hit and sent over by Cuthbert. Now Ether out of bounds, but was there any touches by the surge? Yes, there was. Point Huskies.
Yeah, a good high swing. That caught hands. So good for number 17.
6-4 lead, HVC. Huskies with great character in that first set. They came back to win it after being down 23-20, getting to 26. Not an easy task, however, the surge. Big swing there as that ball sails through the court. Jolene Sibley paying the bills, and she'll serve now. No shortage of passion here at the Legend Center in Warman. Sibley slams that ball over. Davidouk, the libero, is there. Chasing after that is Modreyevsky. And helping that over the net is Burns. Now Michelle. Field tried to make a good athletic play, but a good swing by Cuthbert from the surge, and 6-6 the score. Jolene Sibley. And a good take by Davidouk. Point Huskies. Devin Ether to serve. Ether hammers that over the net where Georgia Johnner is waiting. Off the block. Modreyevsky grabs it. Davidouk. And sent over by Burns. Burns looking for that back court where nobody was. Just misses. Point surge.
Yes, number 7 for the Huskies had good court awareness, just didn't quite execute.
7-7 the score. McKenna Harkness. Davidouk Modreyevsky, nice play. Harder. Oh, referee didn't like that, as Harder's forward momentum carried her into the net. Point Surge.
Yeah, Harder had a good hard approach, and like you said, her momentum just carried into her net, tapping that top of the tape.
8-7 lead Surge. And that serve just handcuffing Davydouk. Serve coming in hot, 9-7 lead Surge.
Yeah, the Surge are definitely putting the pressure on the Husky passers right now. They're putting some hard flat float serves into the Husky court.
Good hard serve. Davydouk plays that one. Field sends it to the back of the court, inbounds, no doubt about it. Great play, Jordan Field.
Yeah, my coach, I'm not a hitter, but my coach always told me hit deep with range. That's where it scores, and yeah, I think that he's right about that.
Jordan Field, good heads-up play. Jada Harder drills that ball just off the tape, but over the net into the opposition court. Cuthbert, good swing. No Husky personnel were able to position themselves where that volleyball was headed to at high speeds. 10-8 lead Surge.
Yeah, Jada Harder just got sucked up a little too high in the court, and a good swing by Surge down the line.
Kiana Cuthbert. Played by Ether. And a good heads-up play at the net. Georgia Johnner, you could just see her pupils dilate as she saw that one land in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, totally. When you see an overpass coming, your eyes light up, and it's a good momentum play for your team when you can put that ball to the floor.
Surge bench fired up now. Huskies looking for some momentum. Kiana Cuthbert to serve. And that's just into the net. If there's one thing the Surge learned last game, no lead is safe against this capable Husky squad. It's 11-9 in favor of the Surge.
Yeah, the Huskies are going to be relentless no matter what, so I think that the Surge just really have to match that aggression.
Alyssa Burns drills that over the net. Baird is there. And the set kind of came in awkward to Marshall. Couldn't do too much with that. Point Huskies, Alyssa Burns. Burns drills that over the net. Played by Sibley. And Johnner. Georgia Johnner finding the sweet spot. Nice point Surge.
Yeah, that's a good swing by number 5. Saw the seam, hit the seam. The seam wasn't very big, so number 13 didn't quite get her right hand in to close it up. So
12-10 lead for the Surge. Georgia Johnner sends that over. Ether is there. Modreyevsky. Howell Borner. Johnner at the back of the court. Michelle. And Sibley with a good swing off the block out of bounds. 3-point lead Surge.
Yeah, that's a good swing by number 3. The ball is inside, and instead of trying to cut it back down the line, she just goes with it, takes her momentum cross court, and puts the ball away for her team.
Huskies are going to call a timeout as the Surge take a 3-point lead here in this second set. Huskies with a 26-24 first set win and trying to put the button on a championship weekend. The Surge, though, with the lead here. Plenty of lead changes in that first set. How do you see what all happened from the first set playing into the second set?
I think we've seen it's definitely a game of momentum. One team seems to have the momentum and get a few points, and then the other team seems to crawl back, and then they get the momentum. And so, yeah, it's been point for point here, really. And I don't think I'd count the Surge out, even though they're down 1-0.
13-10 they lead here in the second set, trying to force a third set race to 15. The Southeast Surge representing the southeast corner of the beautiful 306. Huskies, most of the girls on their team, when this tournament is all said and done, they have about a 15-minute drive home to Greater Metropolitan Saskatoon. The Surge, as you mentioned, comprising girls from Oxbow and Moose Jaw area, much of the southeast corner of the province. Georgia Johnner, Field, Modreyevsky, and Julia Howell-Borner. Big swings or well-placed tips, all part of the package with Howell-Borner.
Yeah, we always say the stat sheet has no pictures. A kill's a kill.
Yep, exactly. Well said and well played by JHB as Field sends that over. Cuthbert, first contact, scrambling a bit and able to make something there are the Surge. Ether will punch that over. Cuthbert there. Sibley off the block. Good diving play by Burns. And on the third hit, Field hammers that from the back row. And just a little bit of you do it, no you do it on the part of the Surge. Point Huskies.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication, and also not quite the right set location for the Surge hitter, so it caused a little bit of confusion there.
12 serving 13. Jordan Field will get play going here. Just sending that over the net. Daviduk, the libero. Modreyevsky. Ether jumps up. Nice play. Devin Ether, Point Green.
Yeah, like we said, the stat sheet has no pictures, so off the net and down. It'll score.
Style points don't matter as Field just riding the tape. Michelle after first contact from Baird. Sibley, backcourt. No doubt about it. That is out of bounds. And the scrappy Husky squad, no lead is safe against them, and now they're out in front 14-13 after trailing by 3 about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, the Huskies are looking good, and I think that the Surge have they got to put some pressure on the Huskies with their offense.
Julia Howell Borner gets the block up there, but it lands on her side of the net, and that'll be a point Surge. 14-14 with Reese Marshall ready to deliver. Daviduk, Modreyevsky. Heads up play by the setter there to put that into opposition court with authority. Sibley sends it over to awaiting Jordan Field. Modreyevsky, Ether inbounds. Oh! Painting a spot right along the line.
Yeah, I don't know if she knew that one was in, but that's a really good swing by number 17 for the Huskies.
Nice play, Devin Ether. 15-14 lead for the Huskies. Julia Howell-Borner. Drills that ball into play. Johnner, Michelle, Sibley off the block. Howell-Borner, Modreyevsky, and Ether scrambling to make something work there. Diving play by the libero. Harder and Ether both anxious to swing there. They're grinning about how that transpired. 16-14.
Yeah, I like the aggression by both players going up and, like we said earlier, eyes wide and wanting to attack that ball.
Julia Howell-Borner now. 16-14 lead for her team as she drills that. Libero Baird plays it, and Sibley will send that over the net to awaiting Alyssa Burns. Modreyevsky there, and she'll set up Ether, and Howell-Borner recovering. Ether off the block. Ball spins through. Nice recovery, Johnner. Michelle, Johnner lunging from the back row, and some double contact called there, so point Huskies.
Yeah, the Surge look like they're having a hard time running their offense, and with that ball going through the setter's hands, I think that kind of confirms it.
17-14, Husky lead. Baird, Michelle, and there's a big response there by McKenna Harkness. Harkness hasn't had the opportunity to do that a lot, but she's made the most of those situations.
Yeah, she has definitely made the most of those situations. She's had a few attempts where she's just been able to put the ball deep in the court and doesn't have a ton of velocity, but it scores.
Olivia Michelle is the setter for the Surge. Reflex play Field, and Harter will push that to the back. Ball pinballing through Husky court. Big swing by Sibley. I don't know if anyone will get to that in time. Field doing the best she can with what she had, but nothing doing. 17-16 is the lead now for the Huskies, the green and white squad. Olivia Michelle, her team down by 1 in this second set, must win. For the team from the southeast, Michelle hammers that ball over. Daviduk, Modreyevsky, Ether off the block. Johnner, Michelle, and Sibley sends it over. And again, that ball pinballing through. 17-17 the score.
Yeah, good swing from number 3. The Huskies pulled off, didn't put a block up, and I think that they got to be just a little bit more prepared for that secondary shot when number 3's that far off the net.
These teams trading 3-point leads as it's now 17-17. Ether will send that over the net, and just a nice play by Ether. Put the ball over the net, and sometimes good things happen.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication on the Surge's side. They look like they're kind of falling apart just a little between miscommunications and not quite having the setter-hitter connection, so hopefully they can kind of pull it together in the last part of this set.
Ether, unconventional role for her, setting there, but gets it to Harder, who helped it over. However, Jolene Sibley lowering the boom for the point surge. This is just a great game. Two great teams trading points here.
Yeah, that was a really great swing by number 3 to get her team fired up.
Jolene Sibley had that big swing moments ago. Now she's serving. Field, Modreyevsky, Harder tips it over, and again, Jada Harder just able to quickly compute where that ball should go and finding a good spot again.
Yeah, that's a really good play by Jada Harder. She saw that she had 4 hands up and in on her, so just a effective tip right over the block to position 4 and no one to be found.
It's almost like she at times sees things in slow motion and has extra time to mentally make those choices. Tipped over the net, Burns, Modreyevsky, Field off the block. That's point number 20 for the Huskies. They lead at 20-18. And with that, a timeout. What are you liking from the Huskies right now?
Well, we've seen it time and time again that number 2, she just finds a way to put the ball in the court, find ways to score, just like that, off hands. I like their aggression. I just like their flow of the game that they have going right now.
On the flip side, the Surge, they have been able to build momentum at times. You know, if you're the head coach there, recognizing what this team's strengths are, what do they need to do?
I think they just need to take a deep breath and be confident. I think that they're a really good team, and I think that they are just lacking a little bit of communication, which leads to them not being able to quite execute what they want to execute.
Ryan Schweitzer and Shea Bolio bringing you the action here. Sask volleyball action, HVC Huskies out of Saskatoon. Southeast Surge, the opposition here for the Huskies. This is the 18U Women's Division I gold medal game. Devin Ether. Just off the tape. She'll take it.
Yeah, good serve by Devin. Tough break maybe for the Surge. I think their middles have to be just a little bit more mentally checked in for that ball to come off the tape.
21-18. Huskies lead it. Drilled over again by Ether, just over the net. And that one riding the top of the tape for a little bit and then eventually careening out of bounds, and it's a 22-18 Husky lead. And the level of excitement has ramped up on the Husky bench. Surge won't go quietly into the night, though. Baird, Michelle, good diving play there, Ether. Modreyevsky passes to Field, but Field just whistles that one out of bounds. 22-19 the score.
Yeah, I think number 2 was going for the inside hand, just didn't quite get it, but a good aggressive swing.
Leah McFarland checking into this game to serve for the Surge. McFarland just off the side of the hand. I think as soon as she struck that ball, she knew where it was headed, and that'll be a point for the Huskies, 23-19 with Jada Harder. Harder, nice serve. Michelle, and punched over the net by Cuthbert. Modreyevsky, Field off the block. Huskies within a point.
Yeah, the excitement is definitely building on the Husky side, and number 2 again off that inside hand. So the Surge have got to be aggressive now and just pass this ball with confidence.
Huskies, they still got one more point here. And HVC with a capable group of coaches. You got Troy Weeb, Danny Alcorn, Marguerite Ferguson, and Reagan Weeb. You know, they're probably trying to keep things under control a little bit. Just the job isn't quite done, but certainly a palpable level of excitement just below us here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they're saying we're in control right now. The pressure is obviously on the Surge, so go out and play with confidence, and let's score 1 point.
24-19. The task at hand for the Huskies, not seemingly a huge one. Get 1 point before your opposition can get 6. It looks good on paper for the Huskies right now, but the game isn't played on paper. Be very boring if it was. Jada Harder. Sibley, Michelle, tipped over by Johnner, Modreyevsky, Harder, field, out of bounds off the block. And the goal goes green. HVC Huskies, 18U Div 1 women's gold medalists. They take it in 2 sets, decisively winning 25-19.
Yeah, super solid game for the Huskies, and yeah, they earned the win, that's for sure.
The Huskies, they are happy just below us. A grueling weekend. You've been in situations like this, I imagine, both heading to the winner's circle and otherwise. What's it like for the Huskies after a grueling competitive weekend?
Oh, it's such a great feeling to obviously to win provincials. It makes all your hard work worth it, and yeah, it's your ultimate goal at the beginning of the season, so to reach it is pretty exciting.
Ryan Schweitzer and Shea Bolio getting set to sign off another solid Sunday of Sask volleyball action here at the Legend Center in Warman. The Huskies, a 2-set win. They take set number 2, 25-19 to capture gold.